Hi, Professor Wainaina here, your 5 minutes teacher on education, childhood, youth, parenting, and all things school. Welcome. Have you ever wondered, is your child the type that their school wants? This is a pressing question, but one that is rarely asked, and here's why. Schools today operate within a framework that prioritizes order, compliance, and uniformity over the often unpredictable qualities of creativity. If your child naturally tends towards questioning, innovating, and imagining new possibilities, it is likely that the school system views these traits as challenges, even threats, to their established order. Teachers may praise creativity on the surface, but the reality is that the conventional school environment does little to accommodate it. Creativity thrives on freedom, but school prioritizes discipline and obedience, leaving you to wonder, can these systems truly accommodate the child who thinks and acts outside their rigid lines? That's where the question comes in. Is your child the type that their school wants? In classrooms, rules are designed to keep students orderly and quiet. These systems rely on the compliant child, the one who follows instructions and completes tasks as prescribed. If your child's natural inclinations lead them to explore beyond boundaries set by the teachers, the school will view them as disruptive, in need of correction. This correction often comes in the form of disciplinary measures ranging from verbal reprimands to isolation or exclusion from activities, or certain methods of intimidating your child back into line. The classroom environment itself reflects this disciplinary agenda. Ken Robinson, a leading educational thinker, highlighted in his works that standardized testing suppresses creativity by rewarding only a narrow range of responses while discouraging divergent thinking. Creative children who see multiple answers to a problem or who reinterpret instructions will be marked as inattentive, disrespectful, or even problematic, not because they lack ability, but because they challenge the school's desire for uniform outcomes. There is also a subtle and sometimes not so subtle push to conform socially. Schools emphasize social norms, rules about behavior, appearance, and interaction that may clash with your creative child's desire to stand out or express themselves uniquely. In a 2021 study published in Educational Psychology, researchers found that children who showed higher levels of creativity in primary school were more likely to receive negative behavior ratings from teachers, particularly when their creativity led to unusual social behaviors or nonconformist attitudes. These children were not less intelligent or capable than their peers. In fact, they were often more intellectually engaged. Yet, they were deemed disruptive simply because they didn't fit the mold of the typical student the school preferred. Schools justify these policies as necessary to maintain a learning environment, but this is where the true conflict with creativity lies. Creative children don't necessarily thrive under rigid structures. They need room to experiment, to fail, to follow their own thought processes without fear of reprimand. When your child's imagination is squashed by the constant pressure to behave or pay attention in the narrowly defined ways that schools demand, their creativity begins to recede. And this isn't just a short-term effect. Studies have shown that the pressure to conform can lead to long-term self-doubt as children internalize the message that their natural impulses are somehow wrong or too much for the world around them. If you recognize that your child is naturally curious, if they frequently question instructions or interpret tasks differently, they may indeed be the type that doesn't fit the school's ideal mold. This isn't an issue of disobedience or lack of intelligence. Quite the contrary. Your child's inclination to question, to wonder, to dream are all signs of potential that schools will seek to diminish. So, ask yourself, is your child's creativity something to be corrected or something to be cultivated in a space that celebrates it? Schools will promise a well-rounded education, but often what they truly seek is a well-rounded, obedient student who will fit smoothly into their framework. Creativity doesn't have to die within those walls, but it will suffocate unless you, as your child's advocate, make space for it. Let your child's light shine unfiltered. Don't allow their school's love and preference for conformity to dim your child's creative spark. Thank you for your time. See you in the next lesson.